What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds, where I have spent an insane amount of money and time buying a whole bunch of really crappy cars from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, including, this is my almost prized possession right here. If you guys know what it is, then you know. 1996, I believe. This is the Grand Prix GTP, but this is the special edition with the twin quad cam V6, 120,000 miles. I got this thing for a bargain, guys. Stupid cheap, but I think I got scammed. In fact, I know I got scammed. It happens. This is one that, well, it'll be coming soon, so if you're excited about it, stay tuned, and we'll see if we can't do something to get this car on the road. It's supposed to be a run and drive. I can assure you it is not a run and drive. But today's video is actually about my 2003 Dodge Neon SRT4. This one I have decided to sell. I have not done anything to this car. I drove it. I took it home, I used it for a while, I enjoyed it, and now I'm done with it. I've got too many cars sitting here, so it's time to sell some of the ones that aren't doing anything. My Tesla, my red Tesla, is sold. The Dodge Viper is sold. This car is going to be going up for auction where you guys can bid on it and buy it if you're interested. And of course, the Cadillac, the 93 DeVille, will also be going up for sale. Now that it's fixed, it's running, air conditioning, everything works like it's supposed to, that'll be going up for sale too. But today's video is about this one, my 03 Neon SRT4, and it has like 128,000 miles on the odometer. Let me get this thing moved over onto the front where it's out of the anthill over here, and we'll take a closer look. All right, so a couple things about the car that we're going to get into is, number one, there are some lights on the dash, and no, I am not fixing them. This is one I'm sending down the road as is, not to worry, runs and drives great, but we have a brake light on and an ABS light on. These two lights are on together, meaning there's most likely an ABS sensor that has failed, and it is causing the brake light to come on. This is not a huge deal, but some of you are not going to like that it has a check engine light. And I'll be the first to admit I hate check engine lights. They cause all kinds of problems. Generally speaking, it means it's not going to pass smog if you're in an area that requires that. Thankfully, Oklahoma is not one of those areas. Let me scoot this seat back. Let's talk about the good things, though. The light is on for an evap code, which means it could be a line, it could be the purge valve for the evap. It could be the gas cap. In fact, I didn't even think to check that. It could be the gas cap. Why don't we make sure it's not the gas cap first? Although we'd have to reset the check engine light. In fact, this doesn't look like it's in the best shape. Boy, that is rough. So this is the original gas cap for this. I'm looking at the gasket, and the gasket looks all right, but that doesn't mean that that pressure valve in the center has not gone bad. It could literally be as simple as a gas cap, but I make no guarantees that it is. Okay, I'm honest. I sell these cars with full disclosure, full transparency. Here it is. It looks good. It really does. It's sharp. It's dirty, though. Unfortunately, the car is really dirty. The aftermarket wheels are something I don't particularly care for, but, you know, it's part of the car, and I'm not going to go chasing after some factory wheels for it. I think this car looked perfect, exactly the way it came from the factory, but there you go. You've got these wheels. I don't know what brand they are. They have like an SS logo in the center. Not really sure what that is, and they are 225/40 18s, and they have good tread. All four. And let's see if the back tires, I assume they're the same tires. 225/40 18. Yeah, same wheels, same tires, all the way around. Car runs like a top. Lights, signals work. Like I said, I have the factory OEM tail lights. I'm going to throw those in the trunk to go with the car. We also have the wheel lock for this car in the glove box. Interior, I mean, I don't know what to expect from a 128,000 mile Dodge Neon, but I think this is actually in better than average condition, guys. Interior is really nice. Dashboard is not cracked or busted anywhere. Seats are in relatively good shape with the exception of the driver's seat. That one's a little rough, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right here on the bolster, kind of cracked up a little bit, and it's definitely torn on the outer bolster on the other side. Yes, the windows work, lights, signals, all that good stuff works. However, there's an important part of this that we have experienced some problems with. See, bolsters, full disclosure, it does run and drive very well. You've got a boost gauge here, which is really cool. It works. You got a nice loud blow-off valve. It makes lots of noise. Car can sit here and idle all day long. Temperature never gets hot. Air conditioning stays cold. Yes, the radio works. Everything works, all right? It's missing a rear view mirror. Where it went, I have no idea. Brought a screwdriver with me because I got to take my dealer plate off of this now that this is going up for sale. But here's the problem that I've had with this car, and I've had a lot of you chime in and tell me that you know what it is. When you go into fifth gear, it doesn't want to go. See? You hear it? You can see it. See? See? Now, sometimes it does go, and sometimes it doesn't. So here's the thing. Fifth gear does work. Sometimes. And that's the trick. Let's see if we can... And it's not wanting to go now. There it is. Fifth gear. We're rolling. Okay. We're rolling in fifth gear. All right. All the other gears work perfect. Okay. Every other gear, boom, second, third, fourth tries to stall out because we're just too low of RPMs. And fifth gear, it's there it is. There it is. Fifth gear again. Okay, I wanted to show you. In fact, let's see if we can drive it in fifth gear. She's not going to be happy about it. We're going to have to slip the clutch a little bit. But you can see clearly, fifth gear. Oh, she died. Come on. There we go. Fifth gear. She's not happy. All right. It does go in fifth gear. It requires you to do a little rev matching. All right. It seems that it really likes fifth gear better if you're rev matching. So all the other gears, no grinding, nothing. And it runs out great. This is a car that I'm going to say needs a little bit of work, guys. Not going to hide anything from you. I don't do that. Some YouTubers do that. Some dealers do that. I'm not the one. I don't need the money. You know what I mean? I'm not greedy. I'm not sitting here trying to squeeze every dollar I can out of it. I paid about $4,500 for the car. Ended up paying about $1,000 to ship it from, I don't even remember where the hell I bought this one from. But the point is, I've got all in probably about $5,500 into this car. And check out the boost gauge. I love you. Give it a look. There we go. Oh, we spun the tires. No joke, guys. She'll get it. She will get it. It is a fun car. I love the boost gauge. It's not doing anything right now. Let's wait till we get out of town. I'm doing 35 miles an hour, which is the speed limit. I don't want to go racing around through town, but we will get it out. We will get it up to speed. I will show you guys. Absolutely, this car runs and drives great, but fifth gear is sketchy. And I've had a lot of you tell me that the problem with fifth gear is simply some bushings. I don't know if they're talking about the bushings down here or the bushings that are up at the transaxle. Could be either one of those. I've had other people say that it's some kind of a shift fork that could be bent. I'm telling you right now, I have no idea. You're buying it as it is. But if you can't get fifth gear, honestly, it's not really that big of a deal, guys. Fifth gear is just, you know, I mean, it's overdrive. You don't really need fifth gear, right? We'll see if while we're on the highway here, we can get her into fifth. We're in third right now. And look at this boost gauge. Here she goes. Oh, 15 pounds of boost. Whoa. And then shift, fourth gear. It's a fun car, and just like that, I mean, you're cruising. No, by today's standards, it's not exactly a fast car. But come on, man, it's an SRT4, and it's in good shape. A few minor issues here and there, nothing too major as far as drivability goes. Guys, look, straight as an arrow, all right? It drives at speed, smooth, it's not vibrating, shaking, the brakes are smooth, air conditioning's cold, turbo works great, 128,000 miles. Yeah, in general, that's a little high on mileage for anything, but when you're talking about something for 2003, I don't think 128,000 miles is really that bad. This is not a salvage title. This is not a rebuilt title. It's a clean title car, guys. Now, I'm going to try to get her into fifth gear. And that's the thing, like on the highway, I can't do it. Nah, I can't do it. Cannot get it into fifth once I'm moving. It makes a little bit of grinding noise, like it's right there. You know what I mean? It's like fifth gear is right there. If you just had maybe a 1/16 of an inch or so more throw, it's like you could get it. So could it be a bushing? Absolutely. But honestly, I'm not sure. I have not checked into it, looked into it, nothing. I bought the car because I've always wanted one. I had it. I drove it around for a couple days, and then I parked it. I don't really know what to expect this car to bring. I honestly have no idea. It's my first time owning one, and obviously my first time selling one. And it's an enthusiast car. It's one of those kind of cult following cars. You know, there are a group of people out there that just absolutely love the Neon SRT4. They gotta have one. I was one of those people. Don't ever meet your heroes. I'm kidding. Actually, I love the car. I really do. It's fun to drive. It's like driving around, well, I don't want to call it a Miata. It's not like driving a Miata, but I mean, it's on rails. That's what I mean. If you've ever driven a Miata, those things, man, they handle great. Surprisingly, the Dodge Neon does too. It actually handles really, really well. It is a fun car, but I don't care what anybody says, in stock form like this, it is not fast. So this is a car that I don't think you'd have a single problem picking up and driving home, if that's what you chose to do. If you wanted to pick the car up and actually drive it back home, this is a car I would not hesitate to drive 1,000 or more miles. I wouldn't sweat it. I really wouldn't. Dashboard is in good condition. It's not cracked or broken, and usually these things are all kinds of torn up, guys. I don't know about the red. I guess it matches because it's the paint. I kind of wish it was the factory color, but aside from that, and a few minor issues with an evap code and what I'm assuming is a wheel speed sensor, this car is good to go. It does not leak. It does not smoke. It's got a nice sounding exhaust, nice blow off valve. And as you saw, we just drove it highway speeds over, we're doing like 70, 75 miles an hour on this road. And we just went 5 miles with no problems at all. We're going to pull over here. We're going to get out. I'm going to show you the engine fresh off the highway, guys. Fresh off of the highway. So there's no question about what's going on under the hood. Neutral, e-brake, by the way. Yes, it works. I'm going to roll this window down just a hair. I'm always concerned that the doors are going to lock themselves. Not on this car. It's never happened, but on any car. I'm always worried that the doors are going to try to lock themselves on me. This piece right here, it sure looks like there's something missing, but I've been told by so many people that only a special edition of the SRT4 came with a black thing that fitted here. That doesn't make sense. No way they would leave these holes in the hood like this. But I don't know. I'm not an expert on this car. In fact, I don't even know how to pop the hood on this car. There we go. So there it is. Yes, it's a little dirty. No, there's nothing funky going on in it. You got the Pro Series coil, you got thicker coil wires, you got somebody remove the air box and put a hot air intake, which is nice. That little filter sits right in front of the cooling fans, blowing hot air all over it. So I'm sure that is doing wonder for the IATs. Anyway, good looking car. Everything under it, you can clearly see it's not smoking. Get you down there, you kind of see some exhaust and vacuum lines and stuff like that going on down there. Runs great, sounds great, and in my opinion, looks great too. So we got a little bit better sunlight over here. It's out of the shade, it's out of the anthill too. So just give you one last quick walk around. You can listen to this exhaust. I'm gonna get right up to it so you can hear it. Sounds good. Like I said, everything works, but it does have a few issues. Oh, that back door is not closed all the way. There we go. I thought I heard some wind noise coming from over there. The car runs and drives out great, guys. If you're somebody that's mechanically inclined, you're willing to jump in and do just a tad bit of work, figure out the evap code, figure out the brake light / ABS light, those are together. I think you got a good car. Or if you just want something to play with at the track, I guess this car could do good there too. Here we go. And yes, it will redline, not a problem. That's redline. That's like 6250 RPM. She will redline all day. Take a look at the temperature gauge, guys. No problems. It's got gas. She's good to go. That's what I'm telling you, man. There's nothing that I would be too concerned about when it comes to driving this car back home, other than not having fifth gear. But that's for fuel economy. And you don't need fuel economy because this car is going to get you miles per gallon, not miles per gallon. Please forgive me, it is difficult to drive a manual transmission car and film and steer at the same time. So understand that I'm one person doing the work of two people right now. Overall, I do enjoy this car, but it's something that I'm not going to drive. And I know what you're thinking. I do this all the time, and you're right. I buy all the cars that I ever wanted when I was young, and then I end up selling them because I think I'm going to drive them, and I end up not driving them. Listen, my loss, your gain. You know what I mean? The cars that I sell, typically, most of them, some of them are junk, but most of the cars that I sell are good running and driving cars. If it's a junk car, I'm going to tell you up front, the car is junk, buy it as is and do whatever. But this is not one of those. This is not a junk car, guys. It's a solid, fun little turbo 4-cylinder, and I love the damn thing. But I've got a yard full of cars. I cannot keep them all. And it is time, before I get even more crowded with cars that I purchased, it is time to start moving some of these out. So over the next several weeks, I'll probably start moving more and more cars out, so stay tuned for those videos. But like I said, this particular video is about the SRT4. I've had a lot of you email me about the car. If I did not get back to you, I apologize. But here's the video, and believe me, below this video, if you're interested, will be a link directly to this car on Copart, so you can go bid on it for yourself. So if you're wondering about RPMs, we're doing 65 miles an hour at 3,000. So that's what you can expect, since you're probably not going to get it into fifth gear. You're going to be looking right at 3,000 RPM at 65 miles an hour. The thing should still get relatively good fuel economy, and the exhaust sounds so great. It's got the pops and crackles, but not overly done. You know what I mean? It's not out there in your face all the time, but if you really start revving up, you know, getting it into like second gear and getting the revs up, and then you let off, oh yeah, she'll make some beautiful little pops and crackles. Sounds absolutely great. And I've been told, I don't know from experience, but I've been told by many people that those, I think they call them pops and bangs. I don't know that I call it pops and bangs. It pops and crackles, not really any bangs, but I've been told by a lot of people that Dodge actually built this car that way. That even with a stock exhaust on it, they still had a really nice low note. You'll hear in the car as I'm driving, you don't hear really any drone. I mean, it is a really nice, quiet car, especially for being a Dodge from the early 2000s. It's pretty quiet in here. But when you get into it, man, that exhaust just really opens up and you get those nice pops and crackles. From what I was told, this car came factory with pops and crackles. So in my opinion, that is really, really cool. All right, well, that was fun. Now here's the car. You can clearly see it is listed. I got pictures. I got a walk around video. I got everything listed on this car, guys, including a price. Everything is here. The lot number is 740913334. All right? Feel free to rewind it if you need that stock number again. But remember, underneath this video, I'll put a direct link to this car. You can access it from your app, from your computer, your phone, whatever, your tablet, anything. It's right there. All the information is here on the car. It is up for sale, guys. I'm excited because you never know what it's going to bring. The funny thing is Copart's recommended sale price for this was absolutely ridiculous. This is new. I haven't used the app in a while. I haven't sold anything in a little bit. But their app recommends how much you should sell something for. And the recommended sale price for this was like $1,400. $1,400 for a SRT4 Neon. No, that is not going to happen. Buy it now, $6,500. Who knows? Maybe it'll sell. Maybe it won't. But either way, it's up for sale in case any of you are interested. I've had a lot of people tell me on several cars before, you're never going to get your asking price. And most of the time, I do. In fact, most of the time, the cars that I list on Copart sell for the buy it now price. I try to price them fairly, guys. I really do. I'm not looking to make a bunch of money on these cars. In fact, I lose money on most of them. So do me a favor, go check out the car, put it on your watch list, enjoy the auction, watch and see what it goes for. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a solid and hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.